ponder upon Franchesko Petrarka's words, shortage gives advantage to things. If the earth be continually covered by pearls, he will start to trample down, as a pebble. At all things with number and weight increase the price falls. And on the contrary, from shortage the most low things happen precious. So among thirsting sand of Libya a little bit of moisture in hands of the Roman commander caused general envy. Petrarca results numerous examples of how the besieged inhabitants of cities of a fir tree of rats and other inedible during usual time of animals, giving, thus, extraordinary high price vile in a peacetime creatures. Having slipped thought on pearls, water and bread, Petrarca says further that the same laws are observed and in social life. If there are no worthy leaders in the people, or the system so is built that the clever will trample, and kind will strangle, the pettiness will operate weights, and it even will be rather laudable, because it is necessary to correct at all, and the chaos is 100 times worse poor, but the ordered existence. We are obliged to remember that inhabitants of the besieged Leningrad what price banks of the condensed milk for a lump sugar pack in known historical conditions in general happens 8. Besides today it is universal brilliant economic literacy, and we know that, for example, multiplication of monetary weight is often accompanied by monetary unit depreciation. We are familiar with words inflation, devaluation and other. We argued on global crisis and cheating with reserve currencies. We remember probably as therein in Tolstoy's known novel had for an object to dictate the will to all capitalist world by means of transformation of gold into a dirt means of the facilitated extraction. More shortly, people we competent and parities between quantity, cost and markup price for us not secret. As the poet distinctly told us all, both sharp Gallic sense / and the gloomy German genius, and still we know that a word mass in connection with a word culture mean everything, only not culture. Here too multiplication of commodity weight inevitably contacts loss of quality and transition into quality, in the world of double-dealing fellows. And though these all words not news, all same for judgment of the reality to say them it is necessary. After all our epoch, an epoch of mass consumption, as well as in any another, it is impossible to live in this epoch simply. It is necessary to understand it. In total today it is necessary much. Services, the goods, entertainments, news, TV channels, clothes in a case, discount cards in a wallet, and time of all is a lot of. Also quality of this variety falls. Consumer goods knowingly reduce in the name and save as consumer goods. And here at last now we will know this, that all told concerns not only the goods and services, the authorities and banknotes, but also words. To epoch of commodity abundance with seeming logic inevitability there corresponds an epoch of a freedom of speech. Like all is good from the point of view of clearing of the person and approach. Fortunately, it is a lot of bread, it is a lot of oil, it is a lot of radio stations in FM a range, whether it is paradise or its similarity. But the epoch of a freedom of speech is inevitably epoch of multiplication of words, and the epoch of multiplication of words is an epoch of their depreciation, and word depreciation is threat of total demolition of interpersonal and interpublic communications. Who has not understood, will read an epilogue of a crime and punishment with visions of Raskolnikov. The inability to understand each other leads to a general fire and cannibalism. If all speak, but anybody plainly does not listen to anybody, if all speak not to be understood and not because it's what to tell, and that express oneself to what we will come, how not to need perusal of the text about the Babel Tower. On a portions in newsstands, the heap of printed matter, but can read to be there is nothing. As heroine Lubot or Loba in a film Volga. Volga floating in the middle of the river, asked waters, and the inhabitant shipped in the sea of words, can't not have food for mind and heart. All is, but anything is not present here as our epoch is called. Certainly access to sources is opened. It is facilitated unprecedented, but requirements to the person have thus increased. Before it sponsored, and now have thrown. And the person should learn to work with sources, to analyze, eliminate, select the main thing, to dig deep into. Who will teach him to it? If anybody, it sinks in the idle talk. See, and while I write, and you read these lines, someone next already chokes. Yes, misters, we lived at the time of the word increased in quantity, but depreciated on quality. And people already even cease to be surprised that neither the fidelity oath, nor a declaration of love, belief confession already cause such trust, as before. That you read Hamlet. So, the words, all became simple words written, both the Bible, and the Constitution, and the military oath. Only to the bill still trust, yes, to the trading contract. But it until gold did not become the dirt or paper money did not fall asleep the world on a belt. It is now already difficult to us to present the former fear of a totalitarian mode before a printing word when copiers everywhere on the account, and for pages of the typewritten text of the Samis. It is possible to go to prison. Willock on a word has boiled many geniuses and it has allowed to them to be splashed out. Strangely enough, but that totalitarian fear of system before a word told and printed, the true indicator of original value of the word. And after all, it was supposed fighters with system that we will clean system, we will break, but value of the word, both civilization and unselfishness we will leave. And here it has not turned out. Both the system has failed, and values which it suppressed began to evaporate considerably. Very strange. Whether it means what it is necessary to twist nuts. No, it is not necessary to twist anything. At least because to no purpose. The carving is broken. And here that is necessary, so to return value to words and senses. The body told Confucius. Plato spoke about it. Return to work's original sense they spoke. And it is necessary to begin with obligatory reading of good books. We hear on small volume to how many to names have touched. Petrarka, Alexei Tolstoy, Dostoevsky, Plato, Confucius, Ortega and Gasset, the block. More shortly as the classics spoke, read good books, life will make all the rest.